He used to do the vegetables down to the woodshed.
Down the woodshed. Oh,
And Granddad used to clean 10 pairs of shoes every night. Did you all hear that? He used to clean everybody's shoes every night. And at one stage he had 2 jobs, didn't he? Didn't he used to walk down to, what did he do? Didn't he have 2 jobs at one stage of his life? I'm sure I've heard that.
I remember his old crack boots. You remember his crack boots?
Was that when he was at Lansdowne? Ivy Wyeth, who was Thomas's brother Joe's oldest granddaughter, I think, told me about a time when Uncle Tom, well, your grandfather Tom, invited Joe to come back up to try and heal the rift between them. And when Joe and Ivy came up, they were met by a chauffeur in a uniform, in a car, and driven to the home. And then when the door was opened, there was a maid in a black uniform and a white apron.
But it was. Doesn't sound like us, does it? It's a different family, I think.
And the 2 old guys sat down and had a lovely meal together, and then afterwards, over a couple of whiskies, they started discussing fowls and whether it was black Orpingtons or some other breed was the best breeders. And in the end, they decided they would never talk to each other again, and that was the last time they ever spoke, because they couldn't agree on which vowels were the best.
It doesn't sound like Granddad.
Didn't he?
Wouldn't have been that.
He got on with everybody.
I wonder who she's getting mixed up with.
We went wrong somewhere because Granddad.
Let's say as always, she did often wear black, and you know, she could have been chooks. She had chooks all the time. Remember that?
I
can remember.
Was he teetotal, was he?
Yes,
And
I
he
would.
wouldn't have an enemy, I don't think.
I can remember that one coming up, or being told, I shouldn't say remember, but being told that one coming up to try and make a... No, yes, there had been a... Yes, no, I never remember that, but there is something in it. It didn't eventuate. Yes, it didn't eventuate, you know.
What, the visit didn't eventuate? Or
The visit did, but they didn't...
didn't.
Never got cleared up. No, that's probably right. I never ever... I remember being told of it happening. Yes, yes. But I know you never eventuated the reconciliation. No, never ever. Remember hearing about that. I never did. But still, we were younger ones than you fellas. But speaking of Uncle Charlie, in his younger years, he was a motor mechanic by trade. He spent his time with combined motors. That's in the back where the library is there now. Yeah, and he wasn't sort of off coloured health for quite a while. He came out and lived at Mount Bruce with us. And anyhow, I think like we sort of eventually finished up, because he eventually finished up working for Doug McLeod, and as you know the rest of it. But anyhow, he got a great idea of making wine out there. And, and there's a piece off the house up there was called the Cook House. Do you remember, was it there when you were there?
It was the laundry, you know, like the wash house.
Wash house,
Yeah.
the Cook House and all was there.
Yeah, that's what
And
It's still standing that part, still standing.
that's right.
That's the only bit that's left.
So anyhow, in the back of in this bathroom, he made this wine, and barrels cut off and that sort of thing. And anyhow, after one was going on, I wasn't very big at the time, very old at the time. And anyhow, I remember going and putting my finger into this stuff in the wine. So sucking my finger. It was nice. Nobody else would be about for a while, and I'd sneak in. So one day I must have sneaked in and nicked my finger too often. And that night, I was terribly sick. I knew where I'd been. Elderberry wine, I think it was.
Blackberry.
Blackberry wine.
Yeah, because these kids were much older than me. It was dug up for Nola's 21st birthday.
That's
When
right.
it was buried, it was said it was not to be, she must have been the baby at the time.
Yeah.
It was not to be touched. And it would be dug up for Nola's 21st birthday,
That's
and
right.
it was.
It was, that's right.
And I can remember this old box buried in the ground, and Grandad and I suppose all the brothers being around that were around at the time.
It's a wonder what to do with
I
that.
think it was buried round the side of the house where the old hand pump was.
No.
Near that, was it?
No, it was at Lansdowne, and it was in Grandad's.
Yeah, I'm talking about Lansdowne.
Yeah.
We used to see a little depression in the ground, none of it was true.
Down we went round the drive and down to the big old.
Yeah, the big
Yeah,
tree.
that's right.
This battery's doing it as well, they're obviously not
We thought
charging.
that was the place, we never found out.
Yeah.
We always
that
thought
one.
that was where it was
It was,
buried.
it was quite a big, you know, gathering at the time when this was dug up, I remember, because I wasn't very old.
How long does it take to charge a battery?
And
Well, I don't know, I had it on all morning this
That was
morning,
for
but I
dollars,
don't know whether
20
it's...
pence it was dug up for. And a bottle of that wine was still at home when Mother's house was